My impression of the demography side of the family in Europe is that European families in general, across the large number of European countries, of course, there's a considerable variation, but in general, there's higher rates of cohabitation, lower rates of childbearing, less marriage, later ages at which people both have children, later ages at which they marry, and the smaller number of children means smaller families, and this raises issues both in terms of the population sizes of particular countries, and all of these kinds of changes are, in some respects, similar to trends we have in the U.S., although with the exception of divorce, we are not as far along on rates of cohabitation, lower fertility rates, and these kinds of things. So my question is especially when I look at U.S. families, is Europe where we're going to be in the near future? A clear challenge for family life in Europe is the number of children that are born per family. It is extremely low. Number of total fertility rates, which is a measure that demographers use, a number of European countries have extremely low fertility rates. There does not seem to be much optimism that it's going to go up. But not just the number of children that are born, or the children are born per family, but the context within which children are being raised is the second challenge. To the degree that the childbearing outside of marriage or outside of committed, stable partnerships is really a related issue, and maybe even quite arguably the more significant issue than the number of children that are born per family. Well, this is a fascinating question. It's one of these areas of study that has seen a lot of interest in American studies of family life. And the ironic thing is we become interested in kind of the role that fathers play in the lives of children, the role that fathers play in families at the very time they've been disappearing from family life. And maybe that's not ironic, maybe that's one of these things that can just is typical, that when something disappears is when we decide we better determine whether it's useful or not. What we're learning, of course, is that children are important to optimal development. Fathers are important to optimal development of children. They play an essential role for the likelihood that children will grow up to be productive citizens. Put it another way, for children who experience a period of their lives without some involved father, without some father in their lives, experience some real risks, some real challenges that need to be overcome.